Wagwan people, welcome back to GCSE Science Boss. Questions by topic. Now, before I start, I'm just reminding you, please go over to my YouTube channel. Okay, GCSE Science Boss is one word. Make sure you type that into the search engine and just ensure that you are subscribing. Now, in today's video, we're going to be doing another one in the series of questions by topic, and in today's video we're going to be looking at genetic diagrams. We're doing a biology topic today. Now these topics always comes up on paper 2 if you're doing AQA, okay, but these questions are very common for GCSEs. Okay, you're almost 90% certain that you're going to get these questions. Okay, now this was one of my followers on TikTok that asked me to go through these questions. So I decided, okay, I'm gonna fulfill my promise. Okay, you can also send me questions that you'd like me to go through, or topics that if you're not so confident with, I can go through those topics. Okay, just ensure that you're sharing the platform with your friends. We're growing the network. You're going over YouTube, you're watching the videos. Okay, that's how you support the movement. All right, so here goes. Figure 1 shows the inheritance of flower color in two species of plant. Okay, so you have your pea plants here, you have your snapdragon plants here. In pea plants and in snapdragon plants, flower color is controlled by one pair of alleles. Okay, so you have to ensure that you know the definition for these terms before you do genetic diagrams. Okay, so remember that the chromosomes, they come in pair. All right, and those pair, they're called alleles. In figure 1, the parental generation plants are homozygous, another one of those terms, okay, for plant color. So homozygous just means that they have the same set of alleles. In heterozygous pea plants, another one of those terms, which means they have a different pair of alleles. The allele for red color is dominant. Okay, and in heterozygous snapdragon plants, the alleles for flower color are both expressed. Okay, use the following symbols. So when they tell you to use the symbols, please ensure that you're using the symbols. All right, in your answers to parts B and D. All right, so you have your red plants, they've given you the alleles rather, and you have your snapdragon plants, they've given you the alleles here. Okay, so ensure that you use that there. So the question says, what is the genotype of the red flowered pea plants in the F1 generation? So here's my F1, here is the red plant, okay, and they're asking what is the genotype, which means they're expecting the letters for your answer for the red colors. Now your red, all right, your red right there, if you have a look, when you mix red and white, you got red. So the red right there has to be both alleles. Why? Because its parents is a red and white, which means that the parents must have passed on the white allele as well. Okay, so your answer there has to be a capital R and a lowercase r coming from the white pea plant parent. That's where it would be getting that allele from. Next up, what is the genotype of a white flowered snapdragon plant? So what's the genotype here? Okay, so we have a look at the key here. All right, so since it is white, all right, the white means therefore it has both CW gene. All right, so because if you had any other color or a mixture of colors, it would give you pink. So the answer here has to be CW, okay, because you can either be red, white, or pink if you have both alleles. All right, good. The gardener crossed two pink flowered snapdragon plants. So remember what they said here, in heterozygous snapdragon plant, the alleles are both expressed. So the white and the red is both expressed. So that means that the pink has to be CR and CW. Okay, so now they want us to draw a Punnett square. All right, that's how I pronounce it. I don't know how you pronounce it. Okay, All right, Punnett square diagram to show why only some of the next generation plants had pink flowers. Identify the phenotypes of all the offspring. All right, so we set up our square here. All right, it doesn't matter which one goes at the top, which one goes at the side, but we're doing pink flowers. Okay, so it has to be CR, CW, CR, and CW. That would be the genotype of the pink flowers before you cross them, the pink snapdragon. Okay, so right here in the first one, it's going to be CR, CR. Okay, that one there. Okay, next up is going to be CR and CW. Okay, next one here is going to be CR and CW. And it really doesn't matter which letter you put first. Okay, and then the other one here is going to be CW, CW. So it says identify the phenotypes of all the offspring. Okay, identify the phenotypes of all the offspring. So the first offspring that we have here is CR, CR. Okay, and that's going to be red. Okay, they told us down here. Next up is CRCW. You have two of that, CRCW. That plant is pink. One of my favorite colors actually is pink. All right, believe it or not. And then your next one is CWCW, and that is gonna be white. Okay, too easy, 3 marks. All right, not difficult. Okay, next up, what percentage of the offspring would you expect to have pink flowers? So let's look at those which are pink. It's a CRCW, so that's a pink. That's 1 out of 4. That's another pink. That's 2 out of 4. So what percentage are we expecting? 2 out of 4. All right, which is the same as 1 over 2, which is the same as 50%. All right, too easy. All right, now before I move on to the next question, it's imperative, it's very, very important that before you try and attempt these questions, ensure that you know the definitions of the term allele, homozygous, heterozygous, all of that. Okay, good. Let's try another question. A scientist investigated the inheritance of height in pea plants. The scientist crossed tall pea plants with short pea plants. Okay, so you're tall with your shorts. Okay, good. In questions D and E, which is right here, use the following symbols to represent alleles. So we have T for tall, which is dominant, and your small t, which is recessive short. Give the genotype of plant 2. Now, plant 2 is short. Now, the only way you can be short is if you have the short allele. Small t, small t. Remember, alleles come in pairs. And since it's recessive, you need both of them to be present. All right? I love these when they give you the square and you need to complete it. So complete figure 2 to show the offspring produced from this cross. Too easy. This is just too easy. All right? You should be smiling when you see a question like this. So, yeah, big T, small t. Always write the capital letter first. Okay? Good. Then this one you have big T, small t. And then you have small t there. Okay? Good. Now draw a circle around one of the homozygous. Remember, homozygous means that they have the same allele in figure 2. Now this is homozygous. This is homozygous dominant. Why dominant? Capital letter. So that's homozygous dominant. They will accept you circling that one, or you could circle that one, which is homozygous recessive. Okay, that's your homozygous recessive. How do you know it's your homozygous recessive? It has the small letters. Okay, what is the ratio of tall plants to short plants? Okay, so I have 1 tall, 2, 3 tall. So that is 3 tall to 1 short. Guys, that is easy. Oh my God. If you get that on your exam, make sure you smash that out the park. That is way too easy. Okay, let's try another question. All right. Now, this is how you study, as I mentioned before. Right. So you go through the topic. All right. You'd have been doing that independently, and then you come and watch my videos. You can pause it. You can do it on your own, and then you can answer your just you can then check your answers with my answers. Okay, good. It's almost like using a mark scheme, or you could be watching this while you're traveling in the bus or in the car if you're walking. Okay, anyways, let's move on. I digress. The shape of a person's earlobe the shape of a person's earlobes is controlled by a gene. So they're showing you there. So you have your free earlobe and you have your attached. I wonder which one you are. I think I am attached. Yes, I am. Anyways, so a dominant allele codes for free earlobes. What is a dominant allele? So an allele expressed even if a person only has 1 copy. That sounds right. An allele expressed only if a person has 2 copies. No, dominant you only need 1. An allele expressed only if a person has no recessive. No, once a dominant is there, it's going to be shown. An allele expressed only if it is inherited from the male parent. No. So this one is the correct one. Notice though, I've checked through all of my answers to see which one is the best answer. Okay. A man with free earlobes and a woman with attached earlobes have children together. Complete, oh my goodness, I like when I see this. Complete figure 2 to show the possible genotypes of the children. So you have E for free earlobe and small e for attached earlobe. Alright, so look, small e, okay, big E, small e. Love it. And then you have small e, love it. This is 3 marks. Alright, what is the probability that one of the children would have attached earlobe? So remember, attached is you have your small earlobe. So what's the probability? So we have 1, so we have 2 out of 4. So it's going to be 2 out of 4, which is equal to 1 over 2, which is equal to 50%. Too easy, straightforward. 3 marks. You should be laughing when you see genetic diagrams. All right, you remember going over this question or these questions with GCSE Science Boss. All right. Sorry. Figure 3 shows the inheritance of sex chromosomes X and Y. Complete figure, oh, nice again. Complete figure 3 to show sex chromosomes in the gametes of man and woman. Okay, so now they've given us the children, or the G1 or F1 rather, and we have to put in the parental alleles. So this has to be X, because remember, males have both chromosomes. So the males would have X and they would have Y. Oops. Okay. All right. So why am I putting Y here? Because there's Y along this side, and females only have X chromosome. That's an easy 2 marks. Okay. Calculate the probability that the man and the woman's next child will be a girl with attached earlobes. So a girl with attached earlobes. Use the equation. Probability of a girl with attached earlobes is equal to the probability of attached earlobes, which we've just done before, which was 50%, which was a half. And we need to times that the probability of being a girl, which is always going to be 50%. All right, so half times a half is a quarter, which therefore means that the probability is going to be 25%, or a quarter, or 0.25. Okay, too easy, very easy, love it. Your confidence should be building now. You're ready to take on GCSE. Okay, and let's look at one more question before we go. All right, So you're definitely seeing this question now if you're on my YouTube channel, okay? If you're on TikTok and you're seeing this question, it means therefore that you need to go over to my YouTube channel, all right, to see the previous part of the questions. Anyways, sickle cell anemia is an inherited condition that affects red blood cells. Sickle cell anemia is caused by a mutation in the gene for hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is a red pigment found in the red blood cells. You definitely know that. A person who is homozygous for the normal hemoglobin allele, HA, produces normal red blood cells. A person who is homozygous for the mutated allele produces red blood cells with abnormal hemoglobin, has red blood cells that can form an altered shape like that. I'm guessing that is exactly what you're talking about there, and has sickle cell anemia and becomes ill. A person who is heterozygous, okay, that person would now has both normal and abnormal hemoglobin red blood cells. They has sickle cell trait, good, is generally healthy, but can sometimes become ill in certain circumstances. Give the reason why a mutation in the gene coding for hemoglobin could be harmful. Now, the reason that it could be harmful is because if you have a mutation in the gene, it therefore means there is some sort of issue with the hemoglobin, and therefore the red blood cell will not be able to effectively carry oxygen. So it can carry oxygen, but it cannot effectively carry oxygen. Okay. So let's put that together now to get our answer. I mean, it's only worth 1 mark. So we could say that it is less able to carry oxygen because of the abnormal hemoglobin. Okay? Hemoglobin. Alright? So it can still carry oxygen, but it is less able to carry oxygen, which means it's carrying less oxygen. Alright. Next question. Calculate the proportion of cells in figure 1 that have an altered shape. Okay? So let's look at the ones that have an altered shape. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So the proportion of cells that has, so we have 4 cells with an altered shape. So that's 4 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay. Plus those 4, you still have to count those 4. So that's 13 plus those 4, that's 17. So it's 4 divided by 17. When you put that on your calculator, you should get 0.235. So if you round that off to a probability, 0.24. Okay, good. All right, that wasn't difficult. That wasn't difficult. So it just involves counting up the number of red blood cells which have an altered shape. Okay. There are times that these questions throw you off as a student, but sometimes you just need to read the question twice. All right. Now, these family trees, I like them. Okay. So, it shows the inheritance of sickle cell anemia in one family. So, we see what's going on there. So, you have your little key here. So, it says persons 8 and 9 in figure 2 are expecting a second child. So, that person there, that person there. Determine the probability that the child will be a girl. So straight away, you know that's going to be 50%. All right, that's going to have to come into your answer with sickle cell trait. We are going to have to work that out. So draw a Punnett square diagram. Okay, identify the phenotype of each offspring. Use the symbols. I've told you the symbols to use. Don't make up your own symbols, guys. Just use the symbols. All right, good. So let's put our square there. So we have the circle. The circle means a female with sickle cell trait. So a trait means that that person has both the normal and the mutated form of the allele. So the trait has both the normal and the mutated form of the allele. So this right, those alleles there is dealing with the female. Okay, how do I know the female has a trait? It's in the key. Okay, good. Next up, we now have the unaffected male. So in other words, that person has the normal hemoglobin. All right, how do I know it's unaffected? It's right there. And if it's normal, they have HA and HA. And after that, just put them together. HA, HA, then it's going to be HA, HA, good. Then it's going to be HA, HS, that's going to be HA, and HS. So, remember they've asked us now to identify the phenotype of each person, alright, of each offspring. So, HA, HA, that person is normal. Okay, normal hemoglobin. Hemoglobin. Then we have HA, HS. They have the sickle cell trait. Okay, good. And then they've asked for the probability of a girl. So that's 50%. So that's going to be a half with the trait. How do I know the ones with the trait? So that's 2 out of 4. Again, that's going to be 4. It's going to be a half times a half, which is going to be a quarter, which is equal to 0.25%. So that's going to be 0.25%. Okay, 0.25%. Okay, now thank you for watching. Remember, please go over to my YouTube channel. Make sure that you subscribe. Make sure that you're sharing the videos with your friend, and do all the best in your GCSEs.